My name is Holden Albright. I've been a professional wrestler all over Canada, a little bit in the US for the past 12 years. You can follow me at Holden Pro or patreon.com/Brendan C for daily content.
And I am the barn burner Van Landon. Been a pro wrestler now for just over 5 years across Canada and one stop across the border in the United States. You can follow me everywhere at the Van Landon, including Patreon, X, Instagram, and Facebook.
Just a quick shout out before you enjoy this episode of Fan First. We used a website called tjrwrestling.net to find on this day in wrestling history. So if you do want to message us about your May memories, which we will read in future shows, use that website to get a little cheat sheet.
Yeah, we thank you so much for listening, and we hope you enjoy Fans First.
This is a GTA Wire product. Be sure to check out gtawire.com for ways to support and explore other content.
Now they're chanting, "Welcome back."
When we were young,
we dreamed of this day,
where we get to show the world what we're about.
That I am more than just a pretty face.
That I'm king of the world.
That we're all grown up.
Hello and welcome to the Fan First podcast, and I am independent professional wrestler Van Landon.
And I am independent professional wrestler Holden Albright. I heard a quote that I love that said, an entertainer is just someone who decides to take control of their entertainment. And I believe you should be a fan first and an entertainer second. And it also makes it way easier to watch your stuff back that way.
Both Holden and myself were, and still are, huge pro wrestling fans. And with that, we would love to deep dive into the history of pro wrestling moments and memories. And this week's episode is all about the month of May.
Yeah, I'll be completely transparent. I got tired of hearing peers of mine piss and moan about the current product. The beauty of wrestling, though, is since the 80s and like maybe the 70s, but I've definitely seen footage of like 1905 and the 1920s. Pro wrestling has been recorded and not taped over. So if you don't like today's product, please go back of what you loved in the past and please stop whining.
Together, we will drop episodes every other week, where on the second episode, that's where we want to hear from you, the fans. Email us, mail@gtawire.com with the subject lines Fan First to tell us what your favorite May moments are, and we will read them on the next episode.
Please, please, please don't be too long-winded, because we're fans. The song you heard at the start of this podcast was my choice. Van's choice will come at the end of the episode, but it's Hell Yeah, the Stone Cold Steve Austin song from the WWF Aggression album released in 2001 by Snoop Dogg and Dub C. If you've never heard it before, you're welcome.
Now let's start with some notable birthdays from the month of May.
Happy birthday to you.
On May 8th, in 1985, Tommaso Ciampa was born. But also on that day, different year, 1990, Io Shirai, aka Io Sky, was also born.
And on May 19th, 1946, happy heavenly birthday to the eighth wonder of the world, Andre the Giant.
Another sadly passed away, but I have not seen a dick pic from Andre. The big man himself, Vader the Mastodon, was born in 1955.
And also on May 14th, 1985, he's always ready. Happy birthday to Matt Cardona.
And unfortunately, there are also some deaths, starting with Shad Gaspar, who passed away May 17th, 2020 at only 39. What's crazy about Shad's death, though, is he literally died a hero trying to save his son. And his son did live from, like, a rapid current in the ocean. That, like, it wasn't until then that I started hearing about the rip currents and such. I was like, wow. And, like, hey, at the end of the day, wouldn't, like, any father want to die protecting their child? Like, that is a hero's death. And unfortunately, the big guy, shout out Crime Time, shout out just Shad in general.
Oh yeah, no, rest in peace, Shad, absolutely. I also want to mention the late Sabu, who passed away May 11th, 2025, at the age of 60, shortly after his final match there at Joey Janela's Spring Break, which obviously went out with a bang. He was a hardcore icon, obviously known for his time in ECW, as well as FMW, and even WWE, can't forget. Rest in peace, Sabu.
Here in Kansas City, tragedy befell the World Wrestling Federation and all of us. Owen Hart was set to make an entrance from the ceiling, and he fell from the ceiling. And I have the unfortunate responsibility to let everyone know that Owen Hart has died. Owen Hart has tragically died from that accident here tonight.
Owen Hart, May 23rd, 1999, at the Over the Edge pay-per-view. Due to an equipment failure, he fell from the ceiling, and the show, for better or worse, went on. Check out the Dark Side of the Ring episode of it, and I will actually be streaming the tribute show the next night, May 24th. Stay tuned to my socials at Holden Pro for the details on that little watch-along stream.
Love you, Owen. And that's absolutely heavy. But some other notable things to talk about for the month of May. We mentioned it earlier about Andre the Giant's birthday, but May 19th brings us another very memorable moment, as back in 1996 on May 19th in Madison Square Garden, the curtain call took place where, of course, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, Razor Ramon, Shawn Michaels, and Diesel all embarked on what is regarded as the direct trigger for the change in the wrestling business, the direct change to obviously the creative on television, and helped usher in the boom of the Attitude Era, you could argue.
Isn't it crazy, though, that, like, that's a house show moment that became an action figure set just from, like, a fan ignoring the don't bring video cameras into Madison Square Garden?
That is insane.
Over on May 25th, 2019, you want to talk about a moment in the 90s that started a boom. This might be one of the genesis of the current boom of wrestling. I was just listening to Cody Rhodes on Matt and Shane's Secret podcast talk about how they've been in a boom for the last 5 years. 2019 AEW Double or Nothing took place at the MGM Grand Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. This was the first official pay-per-view under the AEW banner. The main event saw Chris Jericho defeat Kenny Omega in a match to determine which of the two would participate in a match to crown the first AEW World Heavyweight Champion. Immediately after the match, Jon Moxley, formerly Dean Ambrose, made his AEW debut by attacking both men.
It's another beautiful day in Las Vegas, Nevada, and we are live in the MGM Grand Garden Arena that has been sold out for weeks and weeks. Fans here from all over the world joining us, and what a night it's going to be, everybody. A lot of folks are asking about the world title, the first world title in AEW.
Right about that. Listen, brother versus brother, generation versus generation. Cody wants to put Dustin Rhodes out to pasture. Dustin wants one last ride. Is he going to get it?
I love, as a current professional wrestler, I'm so appreciative for what that created.
Oh, me as well. Absolutely. I want to piggyback off of your AEW history because 2020 brought a lot of things to the world, including a pandemic that locked fans out of professional wrestling arenas. But while everyone stayed home for their safety, AEW put on Double or Nothing on May 22nd, 2020. Double or Nothing 2, that is, which featured the ever infamous and forever historic Stadium Stampede cinematic match inside the NFL Stadium, home of the Jacksonville Jaguars, of course, where we saw the Elites featuring Matt Hardy, sans Cody Rhodes, defeat the Inner Circle. Then at the time, Jericho, Jake Hager, Santana Ortiz, and Sammy Guevara, of course. And that match brought a lot of gifable moments, of course. Most specifically, Matt Hardy transforming in the pool into different versions of himself. But AEW, as you mentioned, brought a lot for professional wrestling.
Stadium Stampede is such a fun... Like, cinematic wrestling was able to not be bad, and, like, that's so cool. Going over to 2005, though, on an episode of Monday Night Raw, Shawn Michaels took on Shelton Benjamin one-on-one in a Gold Rush tournament match. Bruh, the match is just fucking good, but we all know the gif of Shelton going for that springboard, getting caught with that fucking super kick, 1, 2, 3, and... Unfortunately, Shelton, God bless him, he's still fucking working now, 21 years after this moment. Still looks probably in better shape than he did then. And just a wise with years veteran.
And he absolutely nailed that kick.
I have no idea.
Hey,
Wait a minute. I can't believe what I'm seeing.
you people,
What's with him?
you know who I am. But you don't know why I'm here.
Are we going to get security here?
Where is Billionaire Ted?
During WCW's broadcast on May 27th, 1996, somebody hopped the guardrail.
Oh no.
You may have known him as Razor Ramon, but fans were introduced for the first time to Scott Hall. As he hopped into the ring with a microphone, he says, "You people know who I am, but you don't know why I'm here." Which I think is the true beginning of the Monday Night Wars. Because once you saw Razor jumping ship and now he's on the other show, anything could happen. We saw it with Lex Luger, but when Razor goes, and soon enough somebody else, you know things are cooking in the Monday Night Wars.
Apparently May is a good month for Mr. Razor Ramon, because 10 days before that, and in 1993...
And I think Razor is dazed. Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3.
What is this? He got him! He got him!
Can't believe he beat Razor Ramon. Look at
He beat Razor Ramon! He beat Razor Ramon! Razor Ramon got beat!
In a memorable upset, Enhancement Talent The Kid, also known as Sean Waltman, scored an upset pin on Razor Ramon. He would later become the 1, 2, 3 Kid with the angle, leading to Razor Ramon's babyface turn. Also on that episode, Marty Jannetty beat Shawn Michaels to win the Intercontinental Championship in the main event, live from the Manhattan Center.
And while that was 1993, in 2002, the WWF underwent a major change, as obviously they were no longer able to use the trademark WWF and had to get the F out and become the World Wrestling Entertainment.
Thank you, sir. Who's the next, please?
Louie, how you doing?
Okay, what we're gonna do today?
Just give me a little off the side, Lou.
World Wrestling Entertainment. Get the F out.
So, how do you like it?
Louie, who's better than you?
Good boy.
But in 2000, there's the WWF, and Crash Holly won the WWF Hardcore Championship from the British Bulldog at a SmackDown taping in New Haven, Connecticut.
Hardcore Crash Holly was always one of my favorites.
So I want to thank you guys for being here for the first episode of this. I have been professional wrestler Holden Albright. I thank you for being here, and I will send it over to my co-host to send it away and give them one more song on the way out.
Remember, send your emails to mail@gtawire.com with the subject line Fans First. Tell us all your thoughts and memories of the pro wrestling world in the month of May. And as I bid you adieu tonight, I give you Becky Lynch's cool new theme song.
The man has come around!
Fan First is a GTA Wire podcast in association with the Hub Sports Entertainment Network, hosted by Van Landon and Holden Albright, created by Brendan C., produced by Brendan C. and Corbin Joslin, associate producer Randy C. I've been Bobby. Take care of yourself and each other.
But this week, I'm retaking it.
I kind of low-key like that, like, we're taking this seriously enough that, like, in a year from now or 5 years from now, whatever we're doing, that's more professional. Like, it's like, oh, I remember when we were trying in our fucking spare bedrooms half high on a Monday night?